I moved to a new town a couple years ago to get away from the hustle and bustle of the metropolis. I managed to secure a job in pretty much the same field of work there, and even though my new paycheck was nowhere near as good as the old one, being closer to nature and enjoying the quiet definitely compensated for the loss. That being said, I need to explain a little bit to you the surroundings of my house. I had picked this place as the price was absolutely unbeatable. It was just on the outskirts of the town, with the closest neighbor to me still being 3 miles away. That did not bother me at all, since I had a car and I could easily secure my access to any facilities in a matter of minutes. Now my house is situated at the end of a beaten path that strays from the road and enters the woods. There are thick woods on both sides of the main road, stretching for miles and surrounding the town. I absolutely loved it, and I felt I had won the lottery when it came to privacy. I could drink my coffee in the morning fully naked in front of any window and have no worry about anyone watching me. For the first year and a half, my life in the new house had been blissful. There was nothing I wished I could change. This started changing one night when, in the middle of me submitting a draft to my employer, there was a power cut. I was well prepared for this scenario, and I went straight to the drawer where I had kept my flashlight, batteries, and candles. I set up a couple of candles in my bedroom and decided to get ready to go to sleep. I brushed my teeth, prepared my lunchbox for the next day, and put out the candles. Finally, I got in bed. It was odd not being able to use my phone before falling asleep, but I knew I shouldn't touch it. I needed to preserve the battery so that my alarm could wake me up on time the next day. I know some of you might ask why I was not using an external battery to charge it, but truth is, I had neglected purchasing one at that point. Anyway, I tried to relax so I could drift to sleep. I did feel tired. There should have been no reason why my body did not succumb to the call of rest. Even still, for some bizarre reason, I could not fall asleep. I switched positions, I adjusted my pillow, I tried breath work, but nothing seemed to be effective. In one last attempt to achieve my goal, I stood up and went to open the window. I figured some crisp, fresh, cold air should do the trick. So I sat on the white windowsill, watching my breath turn to mist in the cool night air. It was soon after that I realized the woods were unusually quiet. Normally, I would be able to hear distant howls, critters moving around, an occasional owl hooting or something of the sort. It was never completely quiet. Something was amiss. Or rather, something was there that should not have been present. I figured there was likely a predator in the area. This did stir up in me a feeling of anxiety, but I knew I had closed and locked all my doors and windows, and that I was definitely safe. This helped calm me down, but only for a short while. Only until I caught something moving in the woods down below, some 40 feet away from my place. I could not precisely make out what it was, but it was big. It had to be, for this thing was shaking the trees. Yes, you heard that right. Whatever this thing was, as it advanced, it shook one tree at a time, as if it wanted whatever unlucky critter that inhabited the tree to fall to its likely demise. To say this was unsettling is definitely an understatement. I did not know a single animal that displayed this type of behavior. The sheer size and force something needed to make one of those gigantic fir trees shake like that was unimaginable to me. I wanted to believe it was a bear looking for a midnight snack, but even a bear would have a hard time making those trees bend like they were. I felt as if I had better close the window and stepped away from it. Something told me I would have been better off out of sight and out of mind for whatever beast that happened to be. I closed the curtains too, but my curiosity got the better of me, and I peeked through the open slit to inspect what the thing would do next. A tree to the left of my house, perhaps some 20 feet away, was moving slightly. It stopped a few moments later. I kept peeping. I thought the thing might finally leave. Little did I know how wrong I was. A white figure emerged from the thickness of the trees. It was shapeless, and it seemed to morph as it moved. I froze watching the thing as it climbed higher up an old pine tree. I could not believe my eyes. What was that thing? It looked so white that it appeared as if it was glowing, but no light came from it though, as the forest remained engulfed in darkness. I stood there for what seemed like hours watching the thing. It seemed to be searching for something, perhaps its next meal. At some point it shifted as if to hide behind the same tree it had climbed. It looked as if it only dragged itself around the branches effortlessly, as if it was weightless, or incredibly strong. The creature's head, I really don't know what else to call it, peeped from the branches in the same manner I did from my hiding place. I couldn't tell what it wanted, but if I didn't know better, I would have sworn it was watching me. But it couldn't have seen me, could it? It was too dark for any living thing to see, was it not? Eventually, after a few hours, when I did not dare shift from my position, needing to know the thing's next move, it descended from the tall pine and seemed to retreat further into the forest. I knew that, for I could see the trees moving along its way in the same manner they did when the thing first emerged. I've seen it many times after that, but never during the day. It only comes at night, and it resumes the same spot every single time. I've come to think it's looking to catch some movement in my house. I think if it actually sees me, I'll most definitely be dead. I cannot comprehend what this creature is. I do not know if it is vulnerable to any man-made weapon, and I'm too scared to disclose my location to try anything. I have doubled the curtains on my windows with blinds, just to be sure it cannot see inside. I will keep you updated on anything that changes. Does anyone have any idea what this thing can be? I have a feeling this might have something to do with the reason my house was so cheap. Hello there, my little ghosts. Thank you for listening to tonight's story, and if you enjoyed it and you want to support my work, I would deeply appreciate it if you liked this video and joined our little graveyard community by subscribing to the channel. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the story, and as always, I will see you in a future video. Oh, and if you don't want to miss on any future videos, by the way, make sure you have all notifications turned on. Thank you.